Hey y'all, I'm Angela Barrett, and this is Talking South Carolina. Now y'all take a load off and listen, because no matter if you just moved here, thinking about moving here, been here your whole life, or you just plain nosy, bless your heart, I'll have something for you. Like, who's living in High Cotton? Who's madder than a wet hen? Places to go if you got a hankering for fried chicken, and where you can go to get drunk as Cooter Brown. We'll talk pig pickings, cow tipping, tillions, hay rides, who's buttering whose biscuits, what's a case quarter, and lots of other stuff. So stay a while. Y'all, it's gotta be a hoot.
This episode of the Talking South Carolina podcast has been brought to you in part by HomeMattersSC.com, professional real estate services and marketing in the Midlands of South Carolina for people who want more. And by SimplyArley.com, video editing, podcast production and consulting, graphic design, you name it. And now she's a realtor by day and a podcaster by night. Here's your host of the Talking South Carolina podcast, Angela Barrett.
Hey, Elliot, how are you?
I'm good. Good.
Good. So, things have really been rocking and rolling since the last time you and I talked. It was August 14th of 24, and now we're in January of 25. And as I predicted, and I'm saying this again, patting myself on the back here, you've gone beyond, I think, what you thought you were ever going to be at this point, because you haven't been doing this long, very long, right?
No, I've only been chasing this, chasing the dream, so to speak. Serious, I guess, really pursuing it probably since the beginning of last year.
Yeah.
Into the 2023, because I had my first gig in July of 23. But probably really didn't, like I said, really start pursuing it until, end of 23, beginning of 24. So it's been good. It's been it's been fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, the last time we talked in August, you released You Can't Spell Bush Without USC, and that went over like a rocket, didn't it?
Yeah, it I ended up reaching out to 94.3 The Dude in Columbia and shared the song with them, and it ended up being part of their tailgate pregame show for every game day. So
yes, I figured that would
be a pleasant surprise.
Yeah. So tell me from then to now. Tell me what all's happened, and then I've got some questions I want to ask you too.
Well, not to be too anticlimactic. But honestly, it's just the grind. It's, I ended up releasing 4 total songs, this past year, 2 after You Can't Spell Bush Without USC. I say a lot hasn't happened, but I got nominated for, Columbia's Best Solo Artist. Was nominated for that.
Right.
I got nominated for
Metro Music.
Metro Music Awards, Country Artist of the Year, and I am the weekend of January the 18th, this coming weekend, I will find out if I've won Carolina Country Music's Male Artist of the Year.
Yes, I for the Carolina Country Music Awards, right? Yeah, excited about that one. A friend of mine, I think it was last year, Vanessa Young, won Female Artist of the Year in one of these award things that you guys are on, so I do follow it. Well, that is fantastic. Congratulations on the nominations, and crossing my fingers for the 18th. Tell me about your new song, If Only.
Yeah, so I lost 2 close friends of mine last year. So, as in 23, I keep thinking we're in 24. Holidays are in 2023. I lost 2 close friends of mine. One of them, passed away due to self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Mm.
He'd been unknowingly to me, he'd been battling with some mental health issues and had gotten into just to where he wasn't sleeping well at night and locked himself in his bathroom and took his own life. And it's one of those things that you never know what someone may be dealing with. And he lived in Indiana. He's a good friend of mine. We lived down here South Carolina, and we touch base and talk pretty regularly. And I just remember being in the car around Thanksgiving in 2023, and my wife saying, "Hey, did you hear about such and such?" And I was like, "No." She's like, "Yeah, he shot himself."
Wow.
And so that happened right around Thanksgiving, and then another close friend of mine ended up going into the hospital on Christmas Eve morning, the morning of Christmas Eve, or it may have been Christmas Day morning. But went to the hospital, otherwise healthy, 36, 37-year-old. They'd done a couple of Spartan races. We're just planning on going for his Trident this year. And went in and never came out.
Wow. And do you know, what was the cause or?
No. They said he died of pneumonia. They said pneumonia had already started attacking his heart. From my understanding, because he was so healthy. Because of how healthy he was and being able to kind of face some of the symptoms that he was dealing with that was worse than he probably realized.
Right.
By the time he finally decided to get to the ER, it was kind of too late.
That's terrible. And so I guess those two people inspired If Only?
Yeah, so on September 3rd was my buddy who committed suicide. It was his birthday. And I woke up that morning just really struggling, just as far as feeling like really, it's a heavy day.
Sure.
And, just kind of let my wife know, hey, struggling today, just to give you a heads up. It's FYI. So I, in that really, then started, thinking about Pastor Travis, who'd passed away a month after him, because all three of us shared the same birthday month. Me and Pastor Travis was a day apart, and then my other buddy was September 3rd. And so I started thinking, like, man, what if I would have called, or if only I'd known that they weren't going to be here anymore.
Sure.
And that song came out of it.
And so did you kind of sit down that day
Yeah, I sat down that day and I wrote
the lyrics?
The majority of the lyrics, yep.
Right.
I started at September 3rd and I finished it before the month was up.
Yeah, and so the music followed after the lyrics for that one.
No, I wrote everything at once.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful song.
I don't write words and then put a tune to it. Whatever I'm writing, I have a tune to it when I'm writing it.
Gotcha. Everybody does it so differently, and but that's an interesting story, and I'm sorry for your loss. That's tragic, and I'm glad that something good came out of it, as in your next song, which is the If Only, which is a really good song. There was let's see, we've got Can't Spell Bush Without USC. We've got If Only. There's one I'm missing.
Better Than I Deserve.
Yeah, Better Than I Deserve. Yeah. So tell us about that one.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a song counting your blessings. It's my daughter and son designed the cover art for it. I wrote the song and I was like, hey, I was trying to decide what kind of cover art I wanted, so to speak. And I felt like the greatest blessing I have is my family.
Yeah.
And so, I wanted legacy above everything else. So I spoke to I spoke to my kids and just asked them if they would draw something for me. And
Cool.
have my son do the bottom, or do the write out the better than I deserve part at the bottom of the page, and had my daughter drew the picture. So
That's cool. That's cool. And so now, speaking of family, tell me, what's their thoughts? I mean, what are their reactions to all the publicity and fame and things that you're getting now? I mean, because that's got to be a little bit different for them as well.
every day is it's the same thing, same old,
Yeah.
Publicity and all that doesn't really, I guess maybe it just hasn't hit us enough yet, maybe. They love
There, my friend.
they love telling somebody that hey, yeah, my dad wrote this song, or they're my biggest fans and my family's my biggest support. So they're always sharing my stuff or singing it, and so it's fun. But we haven't quote unquote experienced the I guess stardom, so to speak.
Right. Well, and I know I sent you a text or message or private message the other day when
So I was like,
sitting on, and that was the first song that came up on the country music. So I guess it remembers what you listened to or whatever. I was like, well, would you look at that? How cool was that?
no. So it's funny because I had another buddy of mine who sent me a message saying his Spotify Wrapped. He showed me his Spotify Wrapped, and his most listened to artist was me. Oh, I appreciate that, dude.
Well, and that was the fun thing. I'm usually riding in the car, so I have to sort of let the Spotify pick for me. I mean, I can't look down to pick a song or an artist or things like that. So it was kind of really unique when you were the first one that popped up. I was like, well, goodness. And we had not even talked yet. So
yeah, I mean, I appreciate it. I'm grateful.
Yeah, absolutely. So I got a question. What is with the hat? Dang. Yeah, your hat.
It was a Christmas gift.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so my wife and kids got me that hat for Christmas. So it says "dang." My son got one that says "golly," and it's a brand called Dirt Pile Creative. No, I'm not sponsored by them or anything. It's just one of those things. We saw the hats, we liked them. My son got one that says "golly," and he says "golly" a lot.
And is that where the "dang" comes from? Because you say that all the time.
I do, but it's a lot of times like, man, dang.
Yeah.
Dang. I joke with my wife and some friends of ours, and just told them, I said, I need to find one that says EFF, because like myself and my business partners, because for those who aren't aware, I'm part owner of the largest wrestling company in the state of South Carolina. Also,
right.
And I don't cuss, but we'll say like EFF, which is F, which is like F.
Right.
So I joked and said, I need to get them to make me a hat that says EFF.
Right. Absolutely.
But so I say dang. I'm like, dang.
Right.
So they got me the hat now.
Well, I just saw a couple of things posts about it or comments, and
got quite the laughter. So said I had to ask about that. And speaking of wrestling, so tell us how is the wrestling world going?
It's amazing. We just signed a new deal with Kershaw County Rec Department end of the year to extend our contract with them through 2025. So we'll be there again in 2025 at Kershaw County Old Army Gymnasium in Camden, South Carolina, every fourth Saturday of every month. So it's been a wild ride. We're looking to hopefully have more expand our reach some more this year with different spot shows, so to speak, which is where it's where you'll go to a different town than you're normally used to, and you'll the main goal is, the goal is always the same: is to entertain, get new fans, and retain old fans. That's always the goal. But it's we're hoping just to be able to expand our market some this year, expand our footprint, and you see where it leads us. We've grown exponentially over the past couple of years with the way Netflix and everything with WWE has happened. It's really kind of one of those things that we wonder if this might be a year that wrestling kind of booms.
Huh. Now this is where kids can go and learn or perfect wrestling techniques privately, or how? No. Tell us about the company.
Have you heard of WWE?
Yes.
That's what this is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
This isn't the high school wrestling, middle school wrestling. It's not that.
This is Ric Flair.
It is professional wrestling.
Right.
It's storylines are written. It's not fake. It's script. Yes, we know the outcomes, but someone falling on their back in a ring that doesn't have springs. There's no springs in a ring. It's literally a metal frame, 2x6s, and a 1 to 2 inch foam mat.
So let's back up and let me understand this. So you sponsor or you put on wrestling?
Myself and two others own Palmetto Championship Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
We are the largest professional wrestling company in the state of South Carolina. We have a monthly show, just like you would see Monday Night Raw tonight. We have one of those monthlies, the fourth Saturday of every month.
And so different wrestlers sign up to be part of that show.
Well, we book them.
Okay.
Yeah. So wrestlers are they're not under contract. They're contract workers.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the majority of the times, because of how we run our shows and run our business, we try to keep a lot of the same people the same.
Yeah.
Because our goal is to tell a story. Our goal isn't to have a match and then it not make sense.
Sure.
Because it's I tell people, look at wrestling as a live action movie. Okay, you're gonna come and sit for 2 to 3 hours. And you're gonna get the prequel in the beginning to let you know everything that's led up to this because of the video and stuff that we share in the beginning of our shows, and we do that intentionally so that people who may not have been there when they come, they then have the backstory, because we don't want anyone to be lost.
Sure. Well, now I think I have a better understanding of what that entails now, because I was way off base for sure. Yeah, vets. Just getting the logistics down would be a lot for something like that, and keeping the storyline going and things of that nature. That would be a lot.
we got a great team. Like I said, me and my two business partners, we're the owners, but we have a guy who's been in the industry for 20 plus years. He's the producer of our show. He's the one who writes everything. And again, he's somebody who has 20 plus years of experience in the industry. So for us, it's important to really invest in him and trust him to bring our vision to life, and he does an amazing job with it.
Well, good. I'll have to check it out. And watch some. Now that I have a full understanding of what goes on it. And you said Palmetto
Championship Wrestling.
Championship Wrestling. I'll have to write that down. Let me switch topics just 1 second. How fun was football season? Because you were there most of the games.
No, I wasn't.
Really? I thought I saw where you were at JC.
No, I went to one game. I went to the Texas A&M game because I played at a benefit concert before it for St. Jude's. It was a tailgate concert. Myself and two other country music artists played. Played there, and then we ended up going to we decided to take a trip after the New Year and go to the Cheez-It Bowl.
Mm.
I couldn't go to the majority of games, mainly because my son plays football.
Sure. But now you played at more than one place before a game, right? Like I thought I saw JC's on there, and I know I saw
Now I played Jay's Corners, but that wasn't before a game.
Oh, okay.
That was just I play there, and they market my song.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Jay's Corners I love Jay's Corner. I'm actually there Thursday night.
Yeah, and speaking of your schedule, I was looking at it. I think the next 3 months you're pretty booked.
Yeah, I went ahead and I was like, you know what? Normally, what I do is I put a monthly schedule out at the beginning of each month. And I was like, you know what? I can still do that and accent and tag people, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it up there so that
Yeah.
I have the first quarter out. If people's got questions, they can look, find out.
Right.
Some open availability, especially during the week and Thursdays and Sundays. But my Fridays and Saturdays are pretty much taken up.
Yeah, I saw that. So what's next? You working on a new song?
Yeah, I got a new song already written that I was originally going to record in place of If Only, but after I wrote If Only, something I feel like I really need to get out there. And even if it was just for me.
Sure.
So I've had this other song that I've had written for a little while that I'll be recording hopefully in the first quarter. The guy who does my recording, he's in the process of building a new studio. So he hasn't taken any recording since the end of November. And I'm supposed to check back with him in the January, mid-February. So
Well, good.
fingers crossed.
Any hints about the song? I know you can't tell us the name, but
Well, I can tell you the name. I don't care. It's called Backwards.
The Backroads.
Yeah.
So now, where did that come from?
Where I grew up in the country, there's back roads to get everywhere.
Right.
So like we had to take back roads to get anywhere we wanted to go. And so it's one of those things that, I don't know, I feel like people can relate to learning lessons on the back roads and
Yeah.
stuff. So I named it that simply because I'm talking about driving back roads.
Right. Yeah. People who did not grow up in the country have no idea what they missed.
Yeah, they don't. It's interesting. Like you talk to people, and even something as simple as like food we eat, right?
Right.
It's like, what, you eat that? It's like, yeah, why not?
That's right.
Why would I not eat it? You know?
I know. That's exactly right. Or just some of the things that we say, like where I'm from, I say this all the time. No one in this world knows what a case quarter is. Do you know what a case quarter is?
A case quarter?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've heard it, but I don't, off the top of my head, I can't place it.
So a case quarter is a whole quarter. Like if I say I need a case quarter, I want a whole quarter. I don't want 2 dimes and a nickel. But most people don't know. Because if you remember, you had to have that for the vending machines or certain machines. They wouldn't take 2 dimes. You had to have a case quarter.
And it has a quarter. Yep.
That's right.
So my grandma owned an old convenience store. And I remember like at her old convenience store, she had an old Pac-Man machine that we'd play. And, she'd give us a quarter out the old, register. It was the old gray one that you had to, it wasn't digital.
Right. Yeah. You have to press the numbers, right? Yeah. My grandfather, he owned one too. And I remember, Coca-Cola's in the glass bottle and sitting on the counter, and there's a jar of pig's feet. Yep. And I'm like, ugh, now that I couldn't do.
So my grandma had a jar of pickled pig feet up on her counter. She sold cow tails, and next to the cow tails was Red Man's chewing tobacco and the chewing tobacco that's in the brown packet. I forget the name of it.
Yeah, don't know either.
But she also sold Big League Chew.
Yeah.
And
that was the best.
She had the coolers that you reach down into and pull the bottles out.
Right.
And then she started selling see, a lot of people think sodas have always been 20-ounce bottles. But I remember when they were 16-ounce.
Yeah, well, I remember the baby bottle.
The glass bottles were 8-ounce or 10-ounce.
Right. They were baby, like an 8-ounce, and then
you hit the 12-ounce cans.
Came out, yeah.
So I remember the 10-ounce glass bottles. I remember the 6 or 8-ounce glass bottles. I remember the 12-ounce cans, and I remember the 16-ounce plastic bottles.
Right.
The big gulps or whatever was 20 ounces then.
Yeah, we wouldn't have had any of that back in the days that Granddaddy had the store. But
you know what a nab is?
Yes, a pack of nabs and a Coca-Cola. That's what we're having for lunch.
A lot of people don't know what nabs are. So like, what was the nab?
So y'all listen, it's the square orange looking cracker with peanut butter in the middle.
Yep. Well, I'll take a step. Nabs are any type of cracker with something in the middle.
Right. But yes,
it was
having nabs and Coca-Cola for lunch or snack or whatever.
It's not a brand, but more than likely you're either eating Lance or Tom's.
That's right. I agree. But it's just something about growing up in the country for sure. So, we talked about, kind of you got your new song coming. Hopefully it'll come out this quarter.
Recorded this quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you're heading from now? I know we got to get through the 18th with the awards, but where have you got any idea about where you're headed next?
I've got a couple of things that I don't want to speak on too much right now.
Sure.
For the simple fact, I'll talk to you about it off air.
Sounds good.
I don't want to necessarily release too much information right now because it's just a lot of open-endedness.
Sure.
But if everything works out the way I'm hoping, then a lot of big things.
Good. Well, I am excited, and I have been from the very beginning, from the first time I heard you, and a big cheerleader here for you, and I am excited to see where all this goes for sure. And I thank you for coming back and checking in with me. We'll do it again because I think there's going to be a lot to keep up with you for sure.
Oh yeah, you just let me know. It's too easy.
Absolutely.
People make things more difficult than they need to be. Hopping on a 30-minute phone call or Zoom or whatever interview.
That's right.
Yeah, too easy.
Well, I appreciate it so much. Thanks.
Absolutely.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Talking South Carolina podcast. If you want to find more on Elliot Poston, that's Elliot with one T, go to elliottposton.com. On social, go to @TheElliotPoston. And remember, that's Elliot, spelled with one T. Why not check out our website at talkingsouthcarolina.com and follow us on social media. You can subscribe to the show on Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and on your favorite podcast apps. For information about being a sponsor on the show and on the website, contact us at area code 803-386-9885 or email us at angela@talkingsouthcarolina.com. This episode has been brought to you by the friendly folks at Giraffe Marketing. Find out more at giraffemarketingllc.com.
I'm gonna be the best version of me. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, roar like a lion, and I